Wait, is this game one?
Well, we're not going to be having the Doom as the second pick coming out from Team Spirit, and this does sort of make me wonder, all right, what are we going to end up seeing out of them this time around? I don't, there's, I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up the CK right now. I kind of feel like you shouldn't, though. And as I say that, they're not. They're going to go back for the Bane instead. And the reason that I feel like they shouldn't is because there are other heroes that work well enough with IO that if you commit to the CK this early, it leaves you open to being countered throughout the rest of the game. We've already talked about Invoker as a potential counter to him, and now they're going to take on out the Oracle. This is a hero that could end up messing up their plans also. So if you get a ban right now from elements of the CK, that eliminates a lot of the other heroes that they could have potentially taken out of the pool in the later stages. And I'm trying to remember what all of it was that we ended up seeing. I believe we saw like a Spearbreaker ban on like the 5th stage or something like that.
Bristleback was also banned out
Right.
from the opposing side. Was that the IO? Yeah.
That to me seems like a pretty strong one also. There's a ton of heroes here that are going to be left open, and I think the biggest problem really would be that it would leave you a lot of heroes to be able to run back. And I don't think it was necessarily just the problem of the IO and CK that brought you down for elements. I think that the real problem was that once you ended up picking the Invoker and the Tiny, your lanes were a little bit static in terms of what they were going to be able to do. You had to have two different heroes that needed a bit of support in the Invoker and the Tiny, and then you ended up picking another hero that needed that support. So I think if they play a little bit less greedy this time around, they should be okay. And potentially also it was, underestimating the effect of the Doom up against the Tiny. So who knows, they might end up going back for it and leaving the Invoker and Tiny relative to their own devices if they do see another hero that they feel like they can exploit.
I think it's probably better to just grab like a Disruptor here, get a solid combo with the Tiny, a response to the Bane and the IO. Vengeful Spirit, not too terrible either here on the element side. Play stun into Avalanche Toss combo. That's going to be killing people left and right all day long. Elements, it seems like, are right back kind of more so in their comfort zone when they're trying to go for this type of aggressive kill type strategy. As long as they don't pick up a Luna last and kind of ruin it all, then I think they should be pretty well off right now if they do want to perform that aggressive timing-based push that we've seen so often in this new patch. But Spirit, they're just going to go right back into game one. Seems Ramses on the Beastmaster played extremely well. Granted, did have a fairly easy lane, but Beastmaster is a hero that you can just leave to his own devices by himself, and he will be doing just fine most of the time.
I also like the Vengeful Spirit here for late game. I was talking about like the slow seeds that IO can bring to the table. If you end up picking up something like a Viper, or maybe going back for obviously not the Gyrocopter since he's banned out, but maybe even a throwback there with the Shadow Fiend. These types of things could potentially be an option. Wind Ranger is another hero that we've sometimes seen Iceberg go to, although less likely there with the attack speed being super relevant with the IO overcharge. But the big thing there is that you can then swap out the hero and pull them out of position. Aether Lens is an item that we've seen picked up quite often on Vengeful Spirits, and with the Witch Doctor here, definitely have that potential to be running aggressive. And I don't know if Spirit, well, again, it all comes down to who they pair with this IO. I think the Sven was a fairly decent ban out, and CK, while still strong, does struggle with getting pressured really early, and that seems like something that you're possibly going to be able to see coming out from Elements. So I think that right now, if you're Team Spirit, you need to have another support hero probably. Well, no, you don't need another support here. You need your mid laner to be somebody who can either carry really hard or pick a early fighting safe lane hero. Maybe something along the lines of a Phantom Lancer. They actually go for the Night Stalker. Is this a mid Beastmaster?
Yeah, and a core Night Stalker. I was going to say, like, Cast Knight I don't think is the pick here, but then again, are there any really great IO partners left in the pool? Bristleback, Tiny, Sven, all being taken out already. And if you run the Chaos Knight again, then Witch Doctor's camps in the mid lane, and you try to go for either the Witch Doctor Invoker, you just hit with a cask, and then you're just completely screwed. The Night Stalker for Team Spirit, that's definitely a little bit of a curveball, but I don't really know if it's a curveball that Elements should be really scared of right now. They have every single hero has the ability to protect themselves and therefore protect each other with crowd control. So Night Stalker, if he's going to be diving, like even with the Beastmaster, even with Vision overhead, the potential kills are going to be very difficult to come by because, even Witch Doctor, Vengeful Spirit, kind of soft heroes, but with the stun and with a little bit of time to like use Voodoo Restoration or get some TP support, they can survive long enough so that Night Stalker's dives will be punished. I'm not really sure what Team Spirit have to last pick to make this all work, but it seems like they just want to keep a tempo-based game with this Beastmaster and just nonstop get pickoffs.
Well, I think one thing is this to me tells me that Team Spirit are really looking for that relocate hero. And I'm wondering, Legion Commander is one that I'm thinking about might be a decent pickup here. Because if you have the Night Stalker and the Beastmaster, that's going to give you the vision game to be able to play the IO relocate game. They're going to ban out the CK instead. But if you think about the way that this would end up working, you end up having, like you said, the Beastmaster Hawk giving you a ton of vision. And then late game also, even in the earlier stages of the game, the Night Stalker giving you a good amount also, and being able to reduce the vision on the side of elements here. Abaddon is going to be banned, so another hero that could have given them some problem. And maybe now you think about somebody who ends up having the long duration stuns. Last pick Enchantress, really? Wow, very
I like it.
aggressive. Oh
All right,
man.
so the Enchantress, it looks like there's a chance that Enchantress might be going towards the off lane. Not, I mean, I guess like a 50-50 shot. Usually Enchantress jungle is just whatever. You just put her there because it works. Enchantress in the off lane works really well if the enemy side has low burst, and it doesn't seem like Team Spirit have enough to effectively deal with an Enchantress at every single turn. I don't know, Team Spirit can grab something like an Ursa or something like that, like one of those kind of weirder IO partners, but they really do need someone to capitalize off of that vision and also have some sort of answer to this Enchantress, because it's just another hero that has more sustain. Is a hero that you can burst down if you have enough burst, but if you're relying on physical right clicks in between those, voids and nightmares, then you're just gonna get brick walled by Untouchable. Uh, I really like this Enchantress pick here from Elements. So there's so many crowd control effects that Team Spirit have to run through if they're gonna get these kills, and they don't have enough burst to just get in and get out.
I will say the one part of it that's a little bit interesting is that for Enchantress here, you end up actually just reducing attack speed by a flat amount, 130 at the max level. And this isn't something that's there's a chance that it could be max, depending on what the last pick is here. I still like Legion Commander, by the way, but Inner Beast Aura, getting everybody else around you's attack speed increased by a flat amount, also is going to mitigate this a little bit more effectively than it would otherwise. So it's not as great of a hero against the Beastmaster in general. It's still pretty freaking good because you're going to be able to soak up a lot more of that attack speed than you would otherwise. But I still feel like with the Bane maybe having a Brain Sap and Night Stalker Void, possibly you pick on up an Urn on Io, and whatever this last pick is, Whirling Axes too. I mean, for a hero with pretty low base HP, if you get set out on an island a little bit, that's going to be an issue. But Dragon Lance is a pretty good item, and I feel like that might be something we end up seeing the Enchantress pick up to help mitigate that problem. 5 seconds left as we're getting ready to move on into Game 3 here, and they are going to go for that last pick Ursa that you mentioned. So gonna be hoping to give
Illidan
these shows some
Enchantress?
Uggs. Oh my goodness, what is going on?
What? Well, I did not see that one coming. I thought, yeah, I mean, just put him in the off lane. He'll be fine. But okay, I don't really know. Enchantress is definitely a hero that you want to have a player who's comfortable playing her on that hero. So maybe it's just Illidan is just the Enchantress guy for elements. In which case they're going to be shuffling their roles or whatever. But Ursa as the last pick is going to make the Enchantress off lane a little bit less attractive since, yeah, Untouchable is still a pain in the ass, but Ursa will have enough attack speed to function as if he was a normal hero versus that hero. And Enchantress isn't going to be just completely immune to everything. Spirit now do have, ways to capital. Oh, Roshan also?
Oh, they're doing
Here
it.
we go, boys. Game one of the best of three. Let's do it.
Why not? You said that they were on tilt to the last one, but they're going to be going for the level 1 Roshan now, as Iceberg's going to be able to feed on over. Oh, the pings come out. That was the Bane, though, so they might not know about this yet. They're going on up to the top lane. It is Illidan who's going to be playing the off lane Enchantress, but it feels to me like they're probably going to be able to get this one. And while you do have Good Game and King R that are down
No.
here in this area,
I
what's
got
up?
bashed. Disaster. They have to go all in now.
Oh god, the pings come out. Io got bashed and died. Oh no, this is really a bit of an issue right here as they're going to try and salve
like
back up.
this.
Sunstrike is coming down. Can they get it in time? That's the real question.
Too slow.
Everybody is wanting to finish him off. They're so close to being
no.
able to do it. If they can slow him down at all, Avalanche is going to come in. Nightmare is going to be able to be there. First Blood comes down. They do get Roshan there. Finally going to be able to make it happen as the Night Stalker dies first. They're going to start turning around and fighting now. Good Game dropping low. He is going to go down. There's going to be the Aegis popped at the 15-second mark. Bounty runes haven't even even spawned yet, and they're going to keep on going here onto General on the other side of the hill. They're trying to take down Ramses. He is going to fall. There's the Sunstrike onto Goldblack. It looks like, at least for the time being, it's going to be a 2-3 trade, as Spirit are going to lose another one or get another kill. They're going to be able to catch on screen. This is going to be completely and totally the best Roshan ever, as I think that they're going to be able to kill 4 heroes on top of getting a level 1 Roche. Oh, man. What
okay,
a freaking
so
start.
That does happen.
Good luck.
I'm pretty sure that's the thing. So, the
good luck on
from
top
Iceberg.
of
All right, so let's put some levels. That's what I want to see right now. We got level 1 on absolutely everyone on Elements, because they got 2 kills. Level 3 on Bane, level 3 on Beastmaster, level 3 on Ursa. Somehow the Night Stalker is only level 1. Yeah, I guess he died before Roshan died, something like that. But whatever. For Team Spirit, probably the best they could have hoped for. Losing your IO like that, giving up the gig, actually served as bait. Now he's going to dive in for General. A couple of Fury Swipes hits. That's a lot of damage onto this Invoker, and Screen will cast them away. But the difference between Ursa and Chaos Knight in this particular lane is that Ursa can go in and not overcommit himself, because he can just continuously do this, because he doesn't have mana issues. He's going to go straight in for Screen, shred the Witch Doctor. Sunstrike will not connect onto Iceberg either.
Oh.
That was literally just run into Witch Doctor and claw him down. That's it.
He's level 4 right now. Oh my god. This is such a devastating situation for them, honestly. And the good luck off the back of it from Iceberg after taking it, just... I don't know if that's bad-mannered or cheeky or what it is, but it's wonderful. That's really what it comes down to, and I absolutely love it. So a hero that really wants to be able to outlevel your opponent here, General, almost level 3, while Iceberg is almost level 5, and is just going to completely and totally be able to bully him out of lane. The difference in terms of net worth is right around 1,600. Experience, though, the big one, is going to be about 2,000. Absolutely ridiculous at this stage in the game, under 2 minutes in, and this is the type of play that it's so hard to come back from. I don't know if they're really going to be able to make it happen. You just need to stay aggressive with the lineup of Spirit, and then you're going to be fine.
That being said, Elements, if you look at their lanes, are still pretty solid. Assuming like everyone is level 1, whatever, if there wasn't an advantage, King R is going to get jumped as he's getting a little bit too far away from the Tiny. That slow, the reduction of the slow is definitely going to hurt their chase, but it seems like they're going to try to set up again. Toss and Avalanche. It's going to stun them both up. Go Black trying to go for King R will fall short. Eating the Fairy Fire. He has a Brain Sap as well. He's not going to die. The Vengeful Spirit will survive. But Vengeful Spirit Tiny is a very solid 1-2 punch as long as the Tiny has mana. They will keep themselves safe with their threat level. General's going to get jumped on over in mid. Iceberg, cold snapped up. Does he care? He doesn't. Always want to fly. He's going to grab a killing spree on the IO. Okay, so, of course, when I say their lanes are fine, each support hero, like, wanders away, and their cores, like, get under a lot of pressure. But Screen, if he was there, should have been able to save General 100%. Up towards top lane, Illidan does have the hard camp to grab creeps from, but also Enchant steals the Boar, which is a large portion of Ramsey's lane control. And now Illidan can just do this, just slow down Ramsey with his own animals, net him down if needed, and just right-click away. I don't think he has enough damage to get this kill because Ramsey's gone for a poor man shield. Good adjustment up against the Enchantress, but Illidan should be fine up in this top lane versus Ramsey as well. So outside of that Roche, Elements are still getting a good amount from their lanes, more so in fact than Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, the net worth is still a pretty big indicative difference here, and they're going to probably consistently be able to bully them out of here. I would imagine the big difference is maybe up here in the top lane, the Beastmaster having a tough time against the Enchantress, but the Roar committed, because guess what? Beastmaster's level 6, by the way. Yeah, that's an issue. Why don't you go think about that one a little bit? Screen, meanwhile, is going to start to get hugged here by the Bearman. General doing everything he can to try and control, but again, they just don't have any way to punish this behavior. And look at Screen, just going to end up getting eviscerated by Iceberg, continuing to just run on in there and go after him. No fear at all for the Bear. And meanwhile, bottom lane, you've got Afterlife starting to be able to burst on down this Tiny. It is worth noting that right now they're relatively even in terms of levels because the Night Stalker didn't get that same injection of gold. But this has really been the story of it so far, is the fact that these levels have been enough to bully all of these heroes. And now Iceberg almost level 6, phase boots. It's just all, this is not what you want to be happening. God.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to toss the Ursa away here. I don't think that's far enough, dude. He's now out of mana. The dive stops for no one. Tiny's also gonna get torn to shreds. Can they get Go Black at least? Please tell me they get something. One more right click. No, Sunstrike?
Uh,
He doesn't have enough mana. Oh god, this is looking really like a filthy game from Team Spirit. But again, to Element's credit, they're still doing really well up on top lane, even after the Enchantress death. We saw over in mid that Team Spirit with their Ursa, like they tried to go in and dive, and they got their kill in the end, but they had to run through Tornado and Cold Snap and Cask and Magic Missile. There's so many things that would ordinarily brick wall in Ursa, but the fact that Ursa is such a high level because of that early Rosh and because of how many kills he's getting afterwards, 304, all those tools are just not enough. Should Elements have started this game on even footing, they would
yeah.
be at such a huge advantage right now. But that Rosh and the fight after that, it's just the effects are not stopping. And Beastmaster level 7 now is going to look to continue this pressure. Tiny does have Avalanche Toss, but he's not going to cast either when he's roared up. Magic Missile onto Afterlife, but he only has a Toss left. Access to Fly, and Tiny slowed down by the board. Now also King R, he's all alone, slowed down by the board again. They grab a double kill, barely losing any HP.
You say that they would have had the advantage in the lane, but I just feel like this plays even more into Team Spirit's favor because they're staying in this one like just barely, and you'd expect, all right, well, if we would have been able to be so much further ahead if they didn't get the level 1 Rosh, and then you start thinking about like, oh god, this is going to end up being, it doesn't have Fiend Script yet, the small piece of solace, but it does look like they're going to be able to get the body blocks.
Oh, no.
The slows come in, and Illidan, they're going to be able to find the kill. The thing about this too is that like obviously it wasn't intended for the IO to die, but it actually ended up working crazily good into Team Spirit's favor.
Hey.
What were you saying? Sorry.
It was kind of like bait.
Yeah, exactly. In a certain way, because then they all ended up showing up and they were able to finish off the Roshan in time. Like it was just, I don't know. Everything that could have gone wrong there for Elements did end up going wrong, and it doesn't look to be letting up anytime soon, as currently the IO has higher net worth than everybody else on the team of Elements.
Sure, that seems fair. Didn't we just see a game like this? Didn't that just happen? I don't.
Yeah.
I remember one team only getting 2 kills and the other team just steamrolling the entire game.
Yeah.
I don't know. This usually best of 5s don't play out like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Everyone's
normally
gonna
they're a
get
little
jumped.
closer.
Kind of now.
I mean, we don't want to necessarily mislead our audience and make them think that this is like a very easily comebackable game at this point for Elements. It is going to take a miracle and a half to make this happen. Probably so at least 12k MMR to be able to actually pull this one out here. So bottom lane, the Beastmaster can continue to bully the tri-lane, which is just never a good sign. He's got vision on all of them. You've got heroes that are just going to be able to start roaming on in whenever you want. You can't necessarily let up the pressure, though, because if you let the enemy team farm for a little while and just passively get up experience, the difference in between those levels is going to mean a lot less, because you start to get ultimates online for these heroes and stuff. And it has looked like Spirit have really pressured before those ultimates have come online, because you still don't have, level 6 on the Witch Doctor or the Venge, which is going to be really important for them to be able to hold up here. And I think that probably as soon as Roche respawns, you're going to see all of Team Spirit run back in there and try and take it out a second time, and I don't see a way that Elements can contest it.
Tornado EMP is an annoyance. Avalanche Toss does still do a lot of damage, but there's just such an advantage as they relocate down towards the bottom lane. Illidan's already slowed up by the Void. Now the Bear is right in the Deer's face. Io, for some reason, is getting all these kills. I don't know how he's doing that, but sure, Io getting a lot of farm, I suppose. They're going to dive forward as Night Stalker has phase boots. They're not going to find their target, but Roshan is now a target for Team Spirit. The Ursa with the double damage rune is going to tear down this tower. Not quite going to give him his Blink Dagger, but if he's able to grab Blink Dagger, then instantly go into Roche, then what the hell do Elements do? I think Ursa with the Io sustain doesn't need lifesteal to kill off Roshan.
Yeah, he is very, very tanky and bulky, and they might actually end up just going all in there together. It wouldn't hurt for them to be able to have that extra little bit. And it does look like Elements are smoked up. They realize what's going on, and they're going to come and try and contest this possibly. You still don't have level 6 up on Witch Doctor, but they know they can't let him have this one. There's going to be the Roar committed Tornado EMP, and Iceberg is going to drop pretty low, but he's going to start hugging people. There's the Fiend's Grip coming in. General is going to fall, King R as well, and that might just be about all she wrote. As I don't see a way at this point in time for Elements to get back into this one, and maybe just thinking about the next game and not letting them get Roshan. 1,300 net worth swing into the favor of Team Spirit.
Yeah, that seems fair. Seems fair and balanced. It's another Aegis for the Ursa, who again has his Blink Dagger. And that was like almost the perfect time for Elements to make that play, because they go into Roche, Team Spirit, and kind of already committed there with the Fury swipes and whatnot. And then you have Daybreak. So Night Stalker gets a lot weaker. They get a cast going, and usually cast in that situation is going to be insane if it wasn't, a level 4 Witch Doctor. It just seems like Elements are doing all the right things, yet they're so far behind that those right things are almost insignificant, as now the lowest net worth on Team Spirit, Go Black's Bane, is higher than the highest net worth of Elements hero in the Invoker.
Yeah, I'm not just formulating the graph like this, the one little switcheroo that you can do. If I switch it around, it actually doesn't look any different at all. So I might need to be careful that I don't end up doing that for the next game. But yeah, it is a problem. Dota 2 is a difficult game when you end up getting level 1 Roche. I remember talking to a couple of people about it, and them just saying that you basically, there's no way for you to have the ability to, like, if you play it out perfectly, you really shouldn't lose the game, because it gives you such a huge advantage going into lane with level 2. And honestly, the fact that they ended up having the IO not be there for it ended up really playing well into their favor, because that ended up meaning that the lanes where you really needed to have the pressure, that was the place where they got level 3. So the Ursa got level 3. He was just able to run at the Invoker over and over again. Beastmaster got level 3. He was able to roar up the Enchantress, and I don't think that they're going to be able to punish Golblack here. He's level 8, and anytime they come and try and kill anybody, there's just so many heroes available. They're not even farming on the Enchantress right now, or King R or Screen. They're just trying to find anybody in the jungle, but all 5 heroes are mid.
Yeah, it's Team Spirit. They're powerful enough to just force this fight. I was talking to Complexity at Game Show, and they said one of the best parts about going for level 1 Roche is that the enemy team never expects you to do it for a second time.
Yeah.
So, just saying. Maybe that just means Complexity are bad human beings, but I'm pretty sure if Team Spirit are on the Dire again, Elements may or may not see that one coming, since, no one's going to go for level 1 Roche twice, right? Like, what kind of monster do you have to be to do that? But they're just going to go all the way up into the tier 3s. They will fall back, play it a little bit safer, but there's tier 1s still to take. There's so many items that they can grab, like Mechanism is almost done on the IO. The Ursa has a helm, so he can, what is this? Yeah, it seems like it's just going to be some more lifesteal for him. They have Aether Lens completed on the Bane. Like, this is such a huge round of items for Team Spirit. Mechanism level 3 Necrobook, and I think that's probably the sweet spot for Team Spirit to end this game.
Yeah. Oh man, Mr. Bane with the Aether Lens. I've been seeing this more often. It's pretty good. I mean, you get the longer range on everything, being able to set up Nightmare from afar, and then of course Fiend Script, the Stretch Armstrong, Richard Lewis is just absolutely wonderful. So the 5-man smoke on over into the jungle. I don't know if they're going to be able to... Well, they're going to be able to find the whole team, but I don't know if that's necessarily what you want to have happen, as General is going to initiate for EMP Tornado. They're not going to find Always Want to Fly. Oh, they do throw out one of the vacuum... They actually do burst him down at the very start of this, and they take away a lot of the mana. Meanwhile, Impetus is starting to go, but there's Bearman running on into everybody. Is going to start to try and give hugs. He can't... Nobody wants to hug him, though. Illidan is going to end up falling, but meanwhile... The Night Stalker, they're just going to sort of round them up one by one. Oh, God, this is so depressing to watch. GG ends up getting called, and I think that that's going to do it. Game 3 at least now. What was that now?
2 more kills, please.
Oh, no. It was close. The dream is dead. It was an absolute pleasure casting for you guys. We're going to be back in a second with Game 4 as Team Spirit take a game lead and are 1 win away from potentially moving on to the MDL Championships early in the next year. I've been Lyrical Joey, joined today by Michael Urs. Follow us on Twitter if you guys feel so inclined. Any final words before we move on into Game 4 here?
I mean, that was the best. That last fight was the best case